Hi everybody, and I'm back with another process video. I am still using the Knee Highs collection from Basic Gray, which was sent to me from 3 Scrappy Boys for the month of February. And that sketch that you see on the top of the screen is number 307 at Nuts About Sketches. I recently joined their design team, so I was kind of working through the different sketches that Sean had sent for March. And right now I'm just kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this sketch. The sketch that I'm using is not my typical style, so I was kind of just not really sure where I was going to go at the time. So I just was having a look back through the papers that came in the collection kit and was pulling out ones that I thought either worked well with the photos, and not necessarily the colors in the photos, but more of just the theme, more feminine, and using more of the patterns that had the pinks and yellows and stuff. So I'm just trimming down my 2 photos so that they are the same size, and I believe I trimmed them to 4x4, and I'm just going to put them on some white textured cardstock just so that they don't get lost in the pattern paper that I had decided that I was going to use for a mat. So I'm just trimming that down and setting it aside, making sure that I still like that pattern paper that I had pulled. And I'm just using a pencil to mark where I need to cut it. And I was pretty much sticking fairly close to the sketch as far as it was shown. And this Maya Road Mist also came with my design team kit this month, and I was using a scrap of that textured cardstock that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and I noticed that the mist, when I did splatters on it, it bled really bad, so I decided to just put some splatters on the pattern paper, and I liked that better. And then I am going to take some brown chalk ink and ink the edges of the pattern paper. And then I decided that after I had put the photo on there that you really couldn't see the splatters anymore, so I went back and added some more. And then I'm going to set that aside to dry while I go ahead and try to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of the sketch. I'm just taking a look at the 12x12 stickers that came in the collection pack. And I'm going to ink all the pattern papers that I use on this page. And since I was sticking pretty close to the sketch, this page actually went pretty quickly just because I was following so closely along with it. I kind of was limited on, which stickers I was going to use, and this was the first sketch of hers that I worked with, so I was trying to do my best to stick with it as much as I possibly could. I think as I go forward each month on the design team that I'll probably be able to get a better idea of incorporating more of my style in with her sketches, but it's going to take me some time to get used to it. So now I'm just kind of measuring out that piece of yellow paper that I had cut and trying to get an idea of what size I was going to cut those little banner strips at. And I want to say they're 2 by 2.5 or so. And this pink and white paper that has alphabets all over it, I kind of knew that I wanted it to be centered on a couple of the letters, so that's what I'm doing right here, is I'm just trying to isolate that big bold alphabet right there. And then that pink and dark pink heart pattern was one of my favorites in the collection, so I'm getting a little low on that one. I'm just going through and trying to find a 4th color that I like to mix in with those other 3. And I'm going to take one of them and measure and cut it into a banner, and then instead of measuring all 4 of them and going through this process, I'm just going to use this one as a template and just trace it onto the back of them, and it goes a little quicker. I'm not very good about eyeballing it and just freehand cutting it. To me, they seem to always end up a little off-center or crooked, and it bothers me, but at the same time I don't want to measure them all either. And I'm inking those so that they match the other pattern papers. And this layout here was the first one that I put together since I purchased my ATG gun, so I'm still, during this process, trying to get used to it. I think I've used those Tombow little tape runners for 5 or 6 years, so it was a little daunting using something that big for a while. And here I've just pulled out some chocolate double dot by Bo Bunny, just because I felt like I needed a darker color down towards the bottom. And I'm inking the edges of that because the core of that paper is white as well. And then I'm going to go through and start pulling things from my stash that I think match, and I end up pulling way more than I needed. What I like about You Die Cut, I actually really wanted to use, and I at some point forgot all about it and didn't end up using it. But all this stuff that you see me pulling here, most of it I don't end up using. I just kind of, I don't know, I kind of kept it pretty simple, but I do like to pull more than I think that I would ever use, just so that I've got options in front of me and I'm not constantly going back and forth and digging through my stash, especially if I know that I'm trying to record and I don't want to have to cut out a whole bunch of the video, which a lot of this I did end up cutting out just because I was taking forever to dig through everything that I had. So here I have pulled 2 circle die cuts, and these are October Afternoon, and I know for sure they're Cakewalk, but I'm not sure if the package was Tidbits or Miscellany, or I don't know what the difference is between their like ephemera and die cut packs. The colors matched, so I pulled them. And I had pulled this Technique Tuesday stamp set and some Stampin' Up! Inks. I believe the pink is Blush Blossom, and that brown is Soft Suede. And you can see that I deleted part of the video. All I did was that My Life is Rich Because You Are My is a stamp from a Mother's Day stamp from Technique Tuesday and Allie Edwards. And as soon as I saw that phrase, I kind of knew where I was going to go with the title, so I did Sweet Girl down below as the title. The Sweet sticker down on the bottom right, I cut into a banner, and it's from a really old My Mind's Eye sticker sheet, as well as that Property Of circle that I just cut in half and tucked behind there. And then the pink tab at the top, I believe, is from the same October Afternoon die cut pack. And then I'm not sure where I got that little aqua thing on the right because I can't see what it is right now. I believe that's also a My Mind's Eye sticker. And there I had just gone through my little phrase stickers and found a pink one that kind of had something that went with the layout, and then put a couple staples in the tab. And now I'm just putting those little circles that I had stamped, and I went back and inked them with the same brown ink. And I'm going to cut that little Life is Good one in half so that I can use it twice on the layout. And I'm just kind of scattering some pink enamel dots all over the page because the sketch had a lot of circles and stuff, and I wasn't sure